Good day. Welcome to another episode of Ned's Healing Sanctuary. Today I thought we'd talk about self-esteem and how to identify low self-esteem within us and how to heal it. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with some examples of low self-esteem. So low self-worth or self-esteem shows up in your life as a filter, and that's how you view all of your experiences. Okay, it's a negative filter. One way it appears is as an inner critic. So here's an example. Let's say you have had your job for a while and you got promoted. Okay, got to a higher position. So you start to make excuses as to why you got the promotion. One could be like, I only got that promotion because they were desperate to fill the role. So you start to diminish what you've done to achieve it. Okay, it's not that you produce really high quality work or that they like your personality or you make a huge difference. It's that they had to promote you because you were the only one available, right? Another example is labeling yourself as a failure instead of saying, I made a mistake. Okay, you make one mistake and you label yourself, your whole self, your life as a failure. Okay, this is an example of low self-esteem. Another one is you text somebody, they don't respond immediately, and you think, oh, they must find me annoying and they don't want to speak to me or communicate with me. They think the worst. You believe that you're not worthy of having people that love you or like you. Okay, so you make up, something that isn't true. Another one is, I should never feel tired. I should be doing more for others. You feel that you need to overgive, that the love and the wanting to be with you is conditional based on what you do for them. Okay, there's a price for it. So other behavioral signs of low self-esteem are chronic people pleasing, like we just said. You want to keep giving and giving and giving without getting anything back from other people in your life. You don't set boundaries for others so they can speak to you without respect and act in a way that is beneath what you should be receiving from them. And you don't say anything because that's what you believe you deserve. You apologize for problems that you did not cause. You're indecisive in your actions because you're not sure what is good for you. You seek constant reassurance in other people. You're not confident enough to say, okay, this is good enough. You have a fear of abandonment. So if you're in a relationship, you think the other person is going to leave you for no reason because you're not worthy of having them. You settle for less when you deserve more in life. You withdraw socially. You don't like to be around people. You overwork, called workaholism, because you believe that you don't provide enough value. So you believe you have to keep working and working and working for them to feel that you're valuable. And you self-sabotage, which means you hurt yourself based on what you believe. It's a self-fulfilling negative cycle. Okay, you think negatively of yourself, which ends up actually happening because of that's how you feel. So how does low self-worth or low self-esteem begin? Well, we don't actually have low self-esteem, but we believe in a false identity. Okay, here's how that works. So when we're born, we forget our connection to God and the universe and our connection to each other. Okay, in reality, we are all interconnected beings. So we begin to identify with that part of our conscious mind called the ego or the devil that was here in our left shoulder in other episodes. That part of our mind believes it is separate from everything else, that we are all separate from God, from each other, okay? And it believes we are small, and it believes that we are competing with each other to achieve whatever we want to achieve in life. All of these ideas are false, okay? That's what the ego wants you to believe. It's a false reality, okay? A false identity. When we're young, through the age of 7, we are like sponges. We absorb everything. whatever we see and whatever we hear. So if you're criticized by your brothers or sisters or by your parents or other relatives or friends, then, or if we're ignored by them during this time, then we begin to believe that love is conditional and that we create a persona where we have to earn that love that we lacked when we were kids. Okay, that's where self-esteem begins, a lack of self-esteem, because we believe that we need to do things to earn people's love and respect and kindness. Okay? And that's not true. So to survive, we kind of hide that part of ourselves that turns out to be not acceptable to our family or our society. Okay? And these rejected parts of us form our shadow self. Okay? The shadow self includes perceived negative aspects of our psyche, of our personality that others don't want to see or hear. And when we hide that part of our soul, it's part of who we are, then we feel incomplete. And this manifests as a deep and underlying sense of unworthiness. I am not good enough. That's how it comes out in your life. So, how do you heal low self-esteem? Well, we have to do the shadow work and integrate it into our personality. And so instead of trying to be positive all the time, you actually have to go into that dark closet where you hid this part of your personality, open the door and shine a light on all of these aspects of you that you've hidden. Okay? And so when you feel a negative emotion, like a trigger, such as jealousy or fear or being inadequate or feeling shame, don't just push it away into your dark closet. Instead, ask, what part of me feels that I'm not enough right now? Okay? And by acknowledging the shadow, then you stop its power to control your reality. Okay? Don't just put it in the closet and forget about it. Confront it. Shine the light on it. Okay? Remember, darkness is the absence of light. Okay? So don't be afraid to shine your light on aspects that you have hidden for a long time. Number 2, raise your vibrational frequency. Low self-esteem vibrates at the frequency of shame or guilt. Okay, these are the lowest on the spiritual scale. So to recover, we must consciously shift our state. All right, so here's how you practice that. You have to use the I am statement instead of I want to be. Okay, say I am worthy. This creates a different vibrational signature than I want to be worthy. I want to be worthy means you're not worthy yet. Okay, I am worthy means you're there. All right, so even if we don't believe it yet, the sound and intention begin to rewire your energetic field. Okay, you start to believe when you say it, and that's what we want. You have to convince yourself that it's true. And you have to reparent your inner child. Okay, how do you do that? Well, your higher self, this is who you are now. Okay, the positive side, the spiritual side, this is the wise part of you, has to become the parent that you never had as a child. Okay, here's how you do that. You have to visualize your younger self, the ones that felt inadequate, felt unloved. Okay, visualize them sitting in a safe place, like their childhood bedroom, or maybe on a beach, or a mountain cabin setting. And then your higher self, your current self, walks up to them and speaks to them directly and tells them, you are safe. You are loved exactly as you are. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. This heals the original wound of conditional love. Okay? I had to do this because I felt that I wasn't good enough as a child. My dad died when I was 7 years old, so I became the man of the house. That's a huge responsibility, and I felt I did not live up to it. And that was not true. I did my best, and I did a good job. You know, my older self had to convince my younger self that I was good enough, and that's how I healed it. Okay? You may cry during this process, which is, not necessarily a bad thing. 4, we have to shift our thinking from the physical side to the spiritual side. So a physical perspective that we have today is that you are your job, your profession, or you are your body, or you are your value, your bank account, your investments. That's who you are. Okay? Your worth is set by external factors and the physical world. Okay, and that's not accurate. What you have to do is take a spiritual perspective. Okay, you have to say, I am an infinite being and I'm having a human experience. Okay, this is your soul, your spirit, coming here to earth to learn and grow. This is not you, this body. Okay, your true self is your spirit, your soul created by God. That's who you really are. And your worth is defined by you, only you, not by other people or other factors outside of you. Okay? Nobody can tell you what you're worth but you. You have to value yourself and know that you're worthy because you are a child of God. That's all you have to be, nothing else. Okay? How do you do this? Well, you have to meditate or go in nature to disconnect from society and all of its pressures and expectations. Okay? And you have to live in the present, in the now. Okay? In this point, there is no past failure and there is no future anxiety. There's only the soul. Okay? You have to learn to be centered in the present moment, no matter what is happening around you. It's like a cyclone or a tornado. Okay? It's all chaos on the outside, spinning chaotically, all right? Hundreds of miles an hour or kilometers per hour. And on the inside of the storm, what is there? There's dead calm. Okay? Silence. That's how you have to be. Be centered on the inside, no matter what is happening around you. Okay? So, how do we become aware of our true self and live in that spiritual perspective? Well, you have to live in alignment with God and your higher self here on your right shoulder in past episodes, not with the ego and the conscious mind on your left shoulder. This means being positive in your thoughts, your actions, and emotions. It means being kind and forgiving yourself and others. It means being authentic and acting out of love with pure intentions. Okay? Don't have ulterior motives. Why should you align yourself with love and God on here on your right shoulder? Well, this reduces guilt and stress. It makes your life happier, healthier, and easier. You can end the recurring negative karmic cycle by emptying all these stones from your karma jar. How do you do that? By correctly interpreting the situation you're in all the time and knowing that the universe and God are always working for your best interest. Okay? Even if things are negative and difficult, you have to know that this is how it has to be right now because of things you don't understand, things you forgot that happened before you were born. Okay? So the universe is always working for your highest good. Always, no matter what. If you come to believe that, this is how you end your karmic cycle because you will react properly to everything happening to you. You will not retaliate. You will not act out of anger. You will not feel jealous because you know this is exactly where I need to be right now. Okay? What does this do for you? Well, it allows you to manifest your own reality through the universal law of attraction. Okay? By thinking positively and acting positively and feeling positively, you are dictating your reality. It will become positive, surrounded by positive people, feeling positively and acting positively because you are. Okay? All of this will elevate your vibrational frequency and lead you to awakening, understanding who you truly are, your soul, your spirit. Okay? This will allow you to feel your strength, true strength, and have eternal peace and love within you, always. And then you'll awaken to your spiritual powers and a strong belief in yourself. And this will allow you to go out and change the world for the better using your newfound spiritual strength. All right? So I hope you've liked this episode of Ned's Healing Sanctuary. As a reminder, give me a thumbs up or a like. Please put a comment as well telling me what you think of this episode or even suggest future episodes. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can become aware of new content that I create as I create it. And also, as a reminder, Ned's Healing Sanctuary is available on all of these streaming platforms and apps. Feel free to check me out on there. And I look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Ned's Healing Sanctuary. Take care.